What's going on, man?
Nada. Traffic seems light today.
It wasn't too bad getting down this far.
What happened yesterday was people were going down 495, and then they were putting them off on the 12th Street exit.
Yeah, they had
so
no choice.
Everyone's hitting 95.
Yep.
Saying forget it.
Yeah, unless they blocked it further off.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. Seemed better, so.
Well, we will see how far we can get today on the commute.
Try not to do a whole episode within the 4 blocks.
So we welcome everybody to another episode of The Commute.
Where I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. A few stories. Kind of a slow news day.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got a couple. Let's see what we got here. We'll start. I don't want to start with that one. I don't even know if I want to use that one. We'll put that one last.
Edinburgh.
Yeah. Okay, so gamers take their games pretty seriously.
Sure.
And this gamer takes us to South Korea, where a man by the name of Chung, 22 years old, was arrested under suspicion of leaving his son to die of hunger. Chung, who is currently jobless, left his son alone at his apartment for more than a week while he went out to play computer games at an internet cafe.
Wow.
He went home once every 3 days or so to feed the child. One day he arrived home and saw that his 2-year-old son was dead. 2 years old, you leave him alone for a week. I don't leave my 8-year-old home for a minute.
No.
I mean,
that's...
And just not feeding themselves, but other thing, like...
Yeah, what can a 2-year-old do, really?
I mean, they can hurt themselves.
Yeah. They're good at that.
But 2 years old. Instead of mourning his son's death and taking responsibility for it, he left the corpse in the apartment for another month while he went and played these games.
Wow.
And he even reported the child missing after he was seen riding down the elevator with a suitcase in his hand. He then dumped the suitcase with the rotting child's corpse inside in a garden. So, you're not going to stop him from playing Candy Crush.
No. That's... Well, I mean, that sounds like... It's got to be something more consuming than Candy Crush. Probably,
Sure.
An MMO or something.
But it's like, just poor kid. I mean, where's the mother?
Well, yeah.
And so he's left, this is what he was left with?
Yeah.
This sicko, man. But, look, if you're that serious of a gamer, don't have kids.
No.
Because you just don't have time for them.
Give them up to the...
I mean, it takes me forever to finish a fucking game anymore, dude.
Well, and that's any of the MMOs. I mean, they don't.
Oh, yeah, they don't end.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a big deal over there. I mean, especially Korea. I mean, that's...
I take it to
huge industry.
A little bit of an extreme where when I do get to play, it's because my 8-year-old's like, "Hey, Daddy, can I watch you play Grand Theft Auto?" Well, you sure can.
How could Daddy say no to that?
You're so cute. Let's play Grand Theft Auto. Just don't repeat any of the words these people say. Especially that one. No, especially that one.
Or actions.
Oh my God. Yeah. Daddy, where did he take that girl? I'm like, we were playing it the other day, and one of my missions was, I had to go take over a strip club. And I'm like,
Yeah, the entirety probably of the Trevor storyline.
Yeah, really. And I was like, let me just get there. Like, hopefully all it was I went in. We have to go in the room. Yeah. So nothing was seen. But I was ready with the hand over the eyes and shut it off. Thing. I pushed the limits.
Yeah.
But
you're at the edge.
But she was good. So now she'd be like, "Daddy, when Trevor has to leave the girl, he brings the girl back." And she's like, "Why is he crying?" And I was like, "He really liked her." I was like, "It was kind of his girlfriend." But she's got beeping already with the beeping. Jesus. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sister. Y'all gonna wait 1 minute. And so it continues. It doesn't even begin. It continues right where we left off.
Let's not give anybody the right of way. Let's just charge right down the street.
Oh, mercy. I love it.
Well, you people are going to be happy now.
Yeah, look, where do you want us to go now? Traffic is through the intersection.
How's this?
Is this better? You like it? We hope you do.
Or be thy horns.
Oh, see, now I have to bring out this other story. I was going to say, we could moon them, and then it got me thinking about this.
Oh, yeah?
On Edinburgh, Scotland, every now and then when people see the Google Street View car coming down to take pictures.
Yeah, they'll run after it or whatever.
Well, they see it coming and they moon it.
Oh, okay.
And they just drive by and they don't catch it. So every now and then you can go on Google Street View or Google Maps and see people mooning.
See the moons.
The camera. So these guys see the car coming, the Google car coming down the street, and the guy figures I got like 30 seconds, before it gets here. And he was familiar with the whole mooning thing, but he wanted to be a little more creative. So he runs inside, he grabs a pickaxe and his buddy. And he's like, just do what I tell you. And he runs outside, he's just laying on the ground. So his friend lays on the ground, and he's standing above him with the pickaxe. And the car goes by, and sure enough, it makes it on Google. And it was on there for about a year. So for about a year, you could go on
pickaxe, man.
Google Maps and see a guy with a pickaxe over a guy laying on the sidewalk. And then the cops found it, or someone found it, reported it to the cops. So they start investigating it, and they knock on the guy's door. Let's see, Dan Thompson, who was in it. They said they forgot they even did it. It was like, oh yeah, and they were like, oh, so they explained to the cops what they did, and the cops laughed it off. They thought it was funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, what?
Oh, dude, here you would get a fucking fine, and you would get, restrictions on you, and disturbing the peace. You get all kinds of bullshit here, dude.
Take your kids away.
Yeah, man. It's like, that was good to hear, like, cops just laugh something off.
Yeah, it doesn't happen here.
I try to make jokes with the cops, and they don't find it funny.
No.
Not while I'm being arrested or questioned. That doesn't happen, but
no,
just, you're talking, you walk by a cop, I'll make a joke, and they don't find it too amusing. Why don't they find me amusing? They mustn't know the show.
No, they're clearly not followers.
These fucking cops. Did you ever fuck with cops?
No.
Even like when you were a teenager?
No.
No?
No.
I loved it. It was a thing. But nary a laugh.
Not a one.
Not for me. All right. Let's check out this day in history. Hey, a few years from now, we can do this day in history. Remember that time it took us forever to get out of the city?
Yeah. Oh, well, it could still be doing that in a couple years from now.
Yeah.
Depending on how the bridge goes.
Or the show.
Or this car. Oh my God.
Alright, so from the sauna. June 4th, 1942, Battle of Midway begins. 4-day sea and air battle. The U.S. was outnumbered. U.S. intelligence broke the Japanese naval code. The Americans anticipated the surprise attack.
Yeah, because at the time, the Japanese had a superior naval fleet after, Pearl Harbor and all that in the Pacific. So Yamato figured that the way for him to, solidify the Japanese power in the Pacific was to, strike a definitive blow on like the American aircraft carriers. So he took the fleet and then did like a feint towards Alaska with some of his, and took the rest to Midway to try to take out the aircraft carriers there. And they cracked the code, knew when it was all going to be happening. They called the feint.
Oh wow!
They sunk 3 or 4 Japanese aircraft carriers to our 1.
Okay.
They suffered like 2,000 losses or to our 300.
Wow.
So it was a pretty definitive naval victory for the U.S. So that kind of turned the tide.
I was going to say, was that one of the first ones kind of in?
Yeah, I mean, that was the real first pushback. I mean, all across the Pacific, though, the U.S. lost all that ground. Indonesia, and any other countries in the way, the Japanese took. But yeah, they finally won at Midway, and that kind of balanced out the fleets in the Pacific, and that gave the U.S. just enough edge and momentum to push it back the other way.
June 4th, 1989, Tiananmen Square massacre takes place. 300 to thousands killed and 10,000 arrested. They don't have a number, 300 to thousands?
Nah, that was just like based on, journalists and eyewitnesses there.
Oh, wow.
There's no exact thing released. I mean, you're lucky if they even acknowledge it really in China as it even happening.
Oh, I believe that.
So that's just the way the government is. I mean, it's...
Well, yeah, they deny everything.
Yeah.
You saw nothing. They're like the ultimate, nothing to see here. Student protests for greater democracy and the resignation of the Communist Party leaders. Jesus. Yeah, there's some pretty horrific pictures.
Oh, yeah.
From that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you hate to see, but I think everyone should say it. Mm-hmm. Kind of deals.
You gotta know what oppression looks like.
June 4th, 1919, Congress passes the 19th Amendment, guaranteeing women the right to vote. Fantastic. They let women vote? No.
I knew you had one in there. I knew it. As soon as I saw that one, it had to go on the list just because I knew. I knew there was one.
Yeah, it's hot. Let's go.
I'm passing.
Since we're not moving, we don't need to worry about wind.
I'm passing the First Amendment of the Commute.
Maybe we can.
It's too fucking hot.
Maybe we can do like some sidewalk interviews.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you got a few minutes? Because we do.
You got plenty of time.
Let's see. Watch this fucker. We're gonna try to cross. There you go.
Yeah.
On Thursday, it is the one-year anniversary of the first news stories based on leaks from former NSA contractor Edward Snowden. Some of the world's largest websites will issue a call to arms tomorrow, asking readers to take steps to stymie online government surveillance. I guess by the time
online government surveillance.
most people hear this, it'll be today, but Thursday, the 5th. Taking a cue from the anti-SOPA blackout protests of 2012, Reset the Net, a movement organized by the internet advocacy nonprofit Fight for the Future, aims to encourage both website administrators and everyday internet users to start employing NSA-resistant privacy tools in their online activity.
Okay. What does that consist of? Does it say? I mean...
it says, it's been a year since you blew the whistle on the NSA. The Congress has done nothing. The Fight for the Future's campaign manager, Evan Greer, was quoted saying, he said, Reset the Net's message isn't primarily aimed at policymakers. Instead, the campaign is calling for people to take direct action to protect themselves against government intrusion. It's attracted the support of several popular websites, including Google, Reddit, Imgur, DuckDuckGo, and Boing Boing. On June 5th, the home pages of some of them and other sites will be overlaid with Reset the Net's privacy-promoting splash screens. They ask if you're a developer or someone that creates an app, even. You need to promise to try one NSA-resistant privacy tool. If you've got a website or a Tumblr, run their splash screen on the 5th. The Splashy Mass movement aims to empower people to encrypt their own internet, which you shouldn't really have to do. And here it says, website admins are encouraged to add SSL, HSTS, and PFS protection to their sites.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of almost impossible not to. I mean, you can create one, like when we did our website.
Yeah, it asks you.
We had the option, but it was like, if you did it completely free, you don't have the protection, but for a few dollars more.
Yeah, why not just do it?
But, they said, while app developers are encouraged to add similar protections to anything they put on phones, even individuals can get in on the movement by using simple encryption tools like HTTPS everywhere, and choosing products that use and support open source encryption. So I guess if you're on a site that isn't, you can still encrypt your own stuff.
Oh, okay.
Using this HTTPS everywhere. That's a program. For example, Google's releasing the source code for a new extension called End-to-End for its Chrome web browser. This will make it easier to send encrypted emails that decoders of the NSA and elsewhere would have trouble reading. I just feel if you're going to get hacked, you're going to get hacked. You know, I mean,
there's a way around everything.
Yeah, you can make it a little harder for them.
Sure.
And you might be stopping some hackers, but there's people out there, like we did the story the other week, how the government's trying to hire these people because they're better than the government. Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way around every single thing you can do.
Like, I gotta be honest, I don't go crazy trying to encrypt my own stuff and trying to super duper password protect them. And
no,
because you're gonna get hacked.
Yeah, and I have before too. I mean, from like our, Jesus.
Dude, ever since I walked outside, there's something going on. What
did our Xbox Live account did before?
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And I only noticed it because the thing sent me an email that said your password has been changed. Well, I didn't change my password, so I know I didn't do that. So I sent like their tech thing a thing right away, and they had started like charging my credit card. Whatever credit cards hooked to your Live, they started charging like points to it and buying stuff. It was somewhere like in South America. They were buying like soccer games and all kinds of other shit. And I was like, well, I didn't make any
super
purchases,
typical.
So.
Yeah, and that's the other. And then you're protected against that. I mean,
they took it all off, and it wasn't any.
The only time I was ever hacked was my Facebook account got hacked.
Oh yeah.
And Facebook let me know. They said someone recently used your password. It was like Cuba. Mm-hmm. They said, we know that you're nowhere near Cuba, so unless it was you on vacation, you got hacked. Please change your password. And I did.
The main thing where you get it now is like you got so many different passwords for these things. And we play like online games and stuff. So what the games have been doing is you'll set up like a password and sign on and everything. But if you try to sign on from a different location, it sends you an email with like a code you got to type in with that.
Okay.
So if you try to sign on from anywhere else besides the computer like you set it up on originally, it sends that password to your email.
Okay.
So you got to have access to both that thing and the email in order to get the code to log into it. So it's like one further step.
And that's fine. It's not like you're going to do that often.
No, exactly. Like especially for something like that. If you're playing a game, you're playing at your house.
Right.
It's not
like, hey, let's go to someone else's place. And then my debit card got hacked one time last summer. Yeah. Again, the bank called me. And they were like, "Oh, we noticed a few purchases were made in Georgia. Were you in Georgia recently?" Nope. It was like $180.
Yeah.
And even then, what can you do? Because I said to her, well, how was it hacked? How did they get my debit card number? And they said anything. They said it could have been at a gas station. People put those readers on the things. Yeah. Could have been online. Could have been. They said, especially if it's something you use to pay for pretty much everything. They said, But even then, I went. They gave me the money that day.
Yeah.
It was fine. They gave me a new card.
Yep. Change the number out. Do it all over again.
They say the reality is the NSA is not all powerful. They have the ability to conduct surveillance on the scale they do because today we send so much of our data over the web unencrypted. The goal of encrypting the internet from the inside out isn't entirely original. In 2013, the idea was raised by mega upload creator Kim.com. That's a good name. After illegal spying by the New Zealand government led to his arrest. So that's the thing. It's all over the world. You have the whole world trying to hack your stuff.
Yeah.
And the way they make these programs, they don't try to hack you individually. They run codes on everybody on everything, and when they get a hit, they get a hit.
Yep. This big list of names and numbers that go around every time one of these big companies gets hacked. It's just is what it is. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Just keep your eyes on your shit. I mean, you keep your eye on your wallet. Just
sometimes your keys.
Yeah. Occasionally.
And again, like I said, you're pretty much automatically insured with anything you do.
Yeah.
You know, so I try not to sweat too much about it.
No.
I worry about me not spending all my money. You know?
Yeah, that's hard enough for me.
I don't worry about someone else spending my money.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. You're probably
not going to get very far.
Go ahead, try to use that credit card. Unless you're buying gum.
Yeah.
So this story made me think of you. You got your new phone, and you had your thumbprint unlocking.
Yeah, that thing's great.
Thing.
That's pretty cool.
Well, what they're doing now for the new iPhones is they announced Monday that it opened up something called Touch ID, where you'll be able to access pretty much everything with your fingerprint. Mm-hmm. So you can access your bank account. You know, anything that uses a password, you no longer have to sit there and type it in.
That's exactly how this is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same way. Like any account you want to like secure to it, you just tie it into it. So you can do like PayPal, anything else right through it.
Typical fucking Apple. Typical fucking iPhone. They sit there and they're making it like it's this new fucking technology, and it's already on the Android phones.
Yeah.
They
go back
always
and forth
fucking
though,
do that.
too. I mean, like Android. Copies. I don't know. I don't keep track of any of that shit.
No, because anytime it seems like because everyone I know has an iPhone. Anytime they're like, "Oh, look, I can do this now." I'm like, 2 years ago I was able to do that, but because they don't make a big fucking deal and have fucking appointments and press releases on it, everyone thinks it's fucking new. Yeah. Because they're saying here, good, let's fucking tear Apple apart, shall we? Piece of shits, and then they charge you for it, but it's free on the Android app or an Android phone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's so they said soon iPhone 5S owners will be able to log into apps for banks, retailers, or anyone using the fingerprint sensor. So the next version of Apple's mobile operating system, iOS 8, is released this fall. This fall, you'll be able to check your account using the quick scan of your finger.
Well, that might be different though, because if that's an app that's scanning your finger, that's like something to do with the screen, not so much the like this is that.
No, it says the fingerprint sensor.
Oh, okay, fingerprint sensor.
For banks, retailers, or anyone really using the phone's fingerprint sensor. Mm-hmm. Touch ID, which only comes on Apple's latest flagship smartphone.
Right.
Yeah, okay, Touch ID does, but fingerprint ID on the other phones only. They're just calling it something. I fucking hate Apple.
Why do you hate them so much?
Because they do this shit.
Just because of that?
They get everybody to buy their shit because they think you can't do it anywhere else. Yeah. And you can. And it's just, and like I said, then they fucking charge you for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, and they're like, I got this great game and it only cost me $4.99. It's fucking free on Android.
It's true. It's true. That shit's free. The two things that Apple is good for is for like older people. Like it took me years to convince like my parents to get like an Apple like computer in their house, and I was like, this is the thing you need to have. This way I don't have to keep coming over to fix something every time because it's always going to work.
But a phone?
Yeah, phone's a little different.
I mean, phones are phones. They're not going to... you really don't get viruses on them. And,
no.
Everything's right in front of you. It's all touch screen. You don't got to touch shit in. Pretty much tells you what you're doing.
I mean, and the other thing, I guess, would be like... I want the board game apps that are available on the iPhone and Apple phones and everything, like, and the iPad or whatever. I want that shit. I want to play that stuff, and like so they'd be good for that. But just because it's only available
on Android.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Anything now, because anything that is new that they know they can charge for, they put on the Apple phones.
Yeah.
Like my kid will be watching Nickelodeon. And they're like, hey, get the new SpongeBob game. SpongeBob, fucks over everybody. Only on iOS. My kid's like, oh, it's only for Apple. I want it, but give it time. And eventually it becomes free on Android. But when they know they can make a fucking dollar.
Yeah, that's how I think there was a Skylanders thing like that too. And I was like, no, sorry, honey. It's only Apple things. We don't have anything like that.
And that kind of shit isn't going to make me buy the iPhone. Like, oh, let me buy an iPhone so I can get a fucking SpongeBob game.
No, dude, exclusivity has never made me buy.
No, I'm like, oh well, we can't.
Anything.
We can't play it. We can't do it. We can't. Whatever.
I take that back. Maybe it made me buy like the original Xbox, because I think there was some proprietary stuff on there.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Like, not proprietary, but exclusive things on there.
Like, my wife wanted the Xbox for certain games. I'm like, we are not buying a system for a fucking game.
Yeah, it's got to stack up. Like,
right, and that's what happened.
Things.
Once there were so many games that she wanted, then they came out with the Kinect.
Right.
I was like, okay,
that dumps it over.
There's enough. It's a completely different thing now.
Yeah.
Let's pull the trigger. But until that I never got, and like celebrities advertising stuff, I've never been like, hey.
Oh, jeez, since they endorse it. Let me buy that shit right away.
Yeah, Al Pacino uses that kind of cigar. Let me buy that fucking cigar. No. If it's good, I'll buy it. If I can afford it, I'll buy it.
Right. Yeah, but then that kind of advertising isn't targeted at you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't, none of it targets me, but it works because to this day, people get paid millions of dollars to say.
Well, the thing that does target you is stuff that's in a particular place at a particular time. So, like, even though it's something that you might not care about right now, the fact that you see it at a particular place is enough where you're gonna get something or something like it in the future. That's just the way it's targeted.
Yeah,
something's getting you.
Yeah.
Whether you can put your finger on it or not,
something makes you want it.
Yeah.
But still very, very little. You know, it's just all I need to do is see a picture and read about what it does or what it's about.
Right.
And I'll be like, cool, I think I want to try that, or I think I need that.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, probably the most recent thing would have been the Dollar Shave Club thing.
Right.
You know, I saw that ad. I hadn't really seen that ad before, and we watched it, and
it was funny.
It was funny and all, but
funny isn't going to make you buy something. Something makes you laugh.
No, but it got me thinking about razors, how much I spent on razors, you know, how inconvenient it is to have to run to fucking Rite Aid or whatever.
But that's the thing. That's what commercials are supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then sure, then they do the trick. But would it have made you buy any quicker if someone, you know, a sports player that you liked was in the commercial?
No,
they had nobody in the commercial. Yeah. You know, so why spend millions more? Like, I don't get that. You know, I don't get paying so many millions more to say.
Oh yeah, fucking. There's a good example of that. I was walking through like the break room today, and I saw a commercial for, you know, those stupid 3-wheel motorcycles with the 2 front wheels in the front. I mean, it's in a different like world. Jetson fucking world. Like, that'd be kind of cool,
right?
But it just looks like a fucking snowmobile to me, and like, why are you riding a snowmobile down the fucking freeway? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But they had like, I don't know, Peyton Manning or one of those fucking quarterbacks. His fucking head popped up, and he's all in his fucking football uniform and everything. He's like, I like these things. They're great. It's the greatest thing ever. And it was like, you know, $3,000 cash back if you buy fucking, I don't even know what they're called, like Aegis or some stupid fucking name. I don't know. Oh, it's important.
Must be. Later.
No, we could go. We could get it.
Well,
what else do we have left?
Let's see.
We'll keep going.
We're at the end of stories. Let's see.
Or you want to do we could do the ending and then.
Missed anyway.
Okay.
Leave a message. It's like my kid. She's fine.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yes, that's all we got today.
Yeah.
So, make sure to like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Check out our website, twocommute.com, TWOcommute.com. Follow us on Twitter at Driver Passenger. And send us an email at the Commute Podcast at Comcast.net. Hope to see you soon.